Hello friends, how are you doing? Day 104 my challenge, and I am in New West at my friend Erin's place.
Hi.
Hello. She is Le Petite Culinarian. Oh yeah, amazing, amazing caterer. Also a teacher by trade and single. Anyways, so today she's helping me. I don't cook very much Indian food, partly because there's so many spices and I've never tried it. So she's awesome to actually help me walk me through actually how to cook a couple of dishes actually. We do some naan bread, some dal, and
Aloo gobi,
aloo gobi.
some potato and cauliflower sabji, and some fragrant rice.
All right. So, if you want to chime in, please do. But we're gonna get started here. We've pre-chopped most of the stuff and gotten everything kind of ready. And man, wow, there were a lot of spices. So that took a little time. But I'm excited to actually try this. So aromatic, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So hope you enjoy. Okay, so what are we starting off with first?
Okay, you're going over here, so we want to turn this onto a medium heat. We never cook anything on high.
Okay.
So medium heat. We're going to let that warm up. And I do cook with recipes because I'm still not the magic person who can just go a handful of this and stuff when it comes to Indian food because I usually wreck it. So this is our dal that we're going to do. So we're going to saute the onion and ginger first, but let's warm that up. So
Okay.
we'll just knock it up a little bit. We're going to saute the onion, ginger, bay leaves and cinnamon together. So we can pull those out there. If you want to pull the bay leaves out, you can use a little spoon.
Okay.
Yeah. For 2 minutes until the onion is caramelized. And then we're going to add the rest of it.
All right.
So super easy. I mean, then we add all the spices after that. And then we're going to add the tomatoes, the coconut milk, and then we're just going to let that simmer. And while we're letting that one simmer, we're going to go over and work on the naan. Get that to the point where we can let it rise, because it has to have at least one rise, and then we'll come back and do rice. Okay, so we're going to kind of go back.
All right, cool.
Okay.
So why don't we want to cook on higher than medium heat?
Part of it is you burn things. The sugars burn faster in your vegetables. I want to pull out some of the juices here. The only time I actually cook on high is if I'm boiling water, a big thing of water. If I've got my canner on the stove because I'm making pickles. But yeah, I've seen it a lot in my classroom because I teach home ec, where kids fire it right up and everything's burnt on the outside, but it's not cooked on the inside.
Great point.
And so you don't want to ruin your food because food is very expensive now.
So you hear that, guys? Cook on medium heat. Don't cook on high heat. You get to draw out a lot more of the flavors.
Yeah.
And so we're just waiting for this to heat up a little bit, and then we're
Yeah.
just gonna.
We can throw a piece of onion in there and see if it's got any sizzle going on.
No. Oh,
It's not yet.
not yet.
We want some sizzle when we throw it. So it does take a little longer for the pans to warm up when you're working on a medium heat. However, just be patient. Food is a beautiful thing, and you want to make really delicious things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, okay.
Okay, so what is this one working on?
We're making the black bean dal or dal makhni.
Black bean. Okay,
Yeah.
so when I put the spices together,
What did you use?
yeah, what did I put in there?
You started with 3 bay leaves.
3 bay leaves, a cinnamon stick,
Mhm.
1 teaspoon of
Ground turmeric.
ground turmeric,
Mhm.
2 teaspoons of ground cumin,
Mhm.
2 teaspoons of ground coriander,
Yep.
1 teaspoon of ground masala,
Mhm.
half a teaspoon of
Sweet paprika.
sweet paprika,
Yeah.
half a teaspoon of,
We use the Indian red chili powder because I don't have the smoked paprika.
okay, Indian red chili powder,
Yeah.
and then,
We've got our diced tomatoes over there. We've got our coconut milk over there. And we put our sea salt in there already.
okay, oh, starting to sizzle. Oh.
Okay, so you want to throw that in the pan.
Okay.
Chuck the whole lot in there.
Double
One
tap.
big wacky.
Okay, here we go, people.
Yay.
We've cut all this together: bay leaf, cinnamon stick, onion,
Ginger.
Ginger.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna
My
fill it
ginger's
over
starting to sprout. Yeah, and your wooden spoon's there for you.
All right.
So we want to caramelize our onions. So we want onions to have a nice golden brown color on them.
Oh, put that in
You
too,
pass
right?
me the bowl. Put
you
that
go.
in the sink. We clean as we go, so we don't have a big dirty mess when we're finished.
Very good. Oh my gosh.
Smell it?
These flavors.
I know, right? Like,
So good.
who would have thought a cinnamon stick could add so much body and flavor to something? It really blows my mind, to be honest
Here,
with you.
let me bring this in for you guys to take a look.
Yeah, zooming into the cup.
All right. Oh, do you guys like my apron?
My mom's friend made these. She's a really awesome seamstress.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we just so in here again is just onion, ginger, bay leaves, 3 bay leaves, and a cinnamon stick.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh,
And olive oil. I'm using olive oil in this one.
olive oil, yes.
Supposed to use ghee, but didn't have any ghee, so next best thing is my olive oil.
And the flavors, my friends, are so good. Yeah, and also if you ever want to smell something, you should be wafting the. What do you call this?
Moving the scent towards
Yeah.
you, the aroma.
Yeah, the aroma. Yeah, you should be wafting it towards. You shouldn't put your head above it. You might burn yourself or something.
Yeah, you don't want to steam your face.
Yeah.
People pay big money for face steams and facials, but yeah, they don't hurt. So why don't we go over here and we can start working on the naan. So in here we've got 2 cups or 500 milliliters of flour. We've got 2 milliliters of salt.
Yeah, there we go. We're going to show this.
And or half a teaspoon of salt, and we've got 2 teaspoons of yeast. And I'm just going to stir this.
All right, so we're going to do
It's going to be
some
multiple
naan.
things going at once. So
Okay,
I'm going to.
let's see here.
I also need to add some oil into this.
Am I doing this or you doing this? You?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
doing it.
you're the professional.
So I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of oil.
Because if you guys saw my pizza episode, you don't want me to rework it with dough.
No, it's okay. So this dough, I don't have. This is a friend of mine. I used to work with her in Surrey when I worked in the Surrey school system. This is her naan recipe. So we put the yeast right into the flour.
Okay, so we combined the flour, the salt, the yeast,
Oil.
the oil.
And we're going to make, I've had this in a restaurant where they put the black onion seed in it, or the kalonji, or nigella.
Ooh.
So this gives a really beautiful flavor, and they get really crunchy.
It's a beautiful color too.
Okay, so we're going to add the water.
Just stirring.
You bet.
Just stirring this just in case. It's on medium, so
But we want a certain color on our onions, right?
yeah. So we
And
want
color
to.
is what gives us our flavor for some of these dishes. The friend who gave me this recipe always critiqued my Indian food when I brought it to work. And she always said you didn't brown your onions enough, and she knew. And in my head, I'm going, how do you know this? But she knew.
So we're definitely gonna make sure we brown it enough.
Yeah, nice golden brown. And
All
so
right.
don't be afraid to let them cook long. I'm just adding my water bit by bit.
Okay.
Usually use buttermilk or plain yogurt for this. But Edison's tummy doesn't like milk too much. I'm okay with it sometimes, but I'm okay to do with just water. I also thought too, if you had a plain dairy-free yogurt, you could use like a nut yogurt or coconut yogurt
Yeah.
instead, because it's the acid that you need for this.
Okay. So for those who are joining, we're making some naan bread. I love naan bread. OMG. And so Erin is a home ec teacher and caterer. And so she has been so gracious to help show me how to actually make some Indian food. I love Indian food. And so right now she's combined all the dry ingredients.
Yeah. So I'm going to knead it in the bowl until I get a ball of dough. I'm just going to sprinkle a little flour because you don't want it sticking to your hand. That's when you know you need to add flour. But you don't want to add too much. You want a soft ball of dough that's tacky. So you ever want to make pizza dough, I can show you how to make really nice pizza doughs.
Mm-hmm. I have a bread maker.
Cheater! Cheater! I make all my doughs by hand now. I used to have a bread machine, but I used it so much I burnt the bearings out of it. It was a big
Oh my
one. It was
gosh.
a big kitchen, Cuisinart, beautiful machine. 5 years it did it in. I made bread every week.
I used to use my bread maker quite a bit, but then I stopped. And then, so I would actually like to learn how to do it by hand, right? It's just a new skill, right?
So this is kneading it. You need to knead for 10 minutes. So I'm just going to show you how to do it, Edison, then you're going to take over.
Oh my gosh. You trust me?
We're going to develop the gluten. Okay, so it's a nice soft ball of dough. And we're just going to knead it to develop that gluten so we have a nice structure on our bread. So you fold, turn. So fold, push, and turn at the same time. So if it's sticking to you like that, you just sprinkle a little flour, little bit by little bit, so that you're not making a hard dough. Because you don't want a hard dough.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Very nice. Seems simple enough.
Now it's your turn. So do you want to, can this go over like that so they can watch you?
Yeah. There we go.
I'll let you go there.
All right. She's making me do some work, people.
Oh, I can't just sit and watch in my kitchen.
Oh, before I do though, let me show you. So we're looking to get some color with this because this is going to the dal. So we need some color. Adds a lot of flavor. And seriously, the aroma is so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so
let's have a look at this. Are we getting some color? Oh yeah, we're
starting to get the
some
color. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You're
So
going to knead.
I'm going to knead the bread.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Okay, so
Edison, you know how to brown your onions.
come on now.
Come on now, girl.
All right, so I'm just kneading here.
Yeah, so just like I showed you.
You turn.
So fold,
Fold.
push and turn.
Turn.
And you're always, fold, push and turn. And if it's sticking like that, then just a little bit of flour. Okay, I'm just going to get a bowl.
Push and turn. Fold, push and turn.
It's
All right, folks. It's like I'm back in grade 8 home ec class. All right, fold. Okay, starting to get sticky, so add a little bit of flour.
Ooh, that's yummy. Get that out of your way.
And so we need to be kneading this for 10 minutes, you said?
Yeah, well, probably 8 now because I did a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And it's going to get to a point where it's nice and smooth and tacky, but not sticking. And it's okay to be tacky.
What do you mean by tacky?
So it feels like it's sticky, but it's not leaving any dough on your hands.
Starting to get there.
And so it's then the dough is very elasticy. And then we're going to put this in the bowl, and we're going to let it rise until it's doubled in size.
All right. So when you're cooking numerous dishes, you gotta plan in your head because you gotta apparently wait how long for this to rise?
Well, because we've got a really nice day and it's really warm in here, it might only take 30 minutes for it to double in size.
Oh wow.
If it was a colder, rainy, or miserable day, sometimes it takes longer. Because barometric pressure, altitude, all those things factor in as well. I know some people get like, what's she talking about? Well, it's true. Because if you're above a certain amount of sea level, bread won't rise.
Okay.
Can't boil potatoes, you have to use a pressure cooker. So anyway, okay, I'm going to add the spices to this. Or do you want to have a shot before I do?
Oh, what?
Do you want to take a picture, like film this before I add the spices?
Yeah. Okay, hold on. All right, so this is kneading. This is for the naan bread, for if you're just joining us. Okay, and then so we're doing a dal as well. I'll bring you over to take a look. So
Here we go.
we're just browning the mixture first.
The onions, yeah.
The onions, okay, and then now here's the spice mixture. We're just adding it in.
So if I'm not mistaken, this is what's called a thorka.
A thorka.
Yeah. So I want to cook this until you can smell it really nicely.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Beautiful, eh?
Oh, That's one of the things I love about Indian food. It's just so flavorful. The aromatics are amazing. You guys see that? Oh, it's a beautiful color too. And if you guys are in the kitchen, oh my gosh, you would just be in heaven. And then
Okay, let's add our tomatoes to this
okay,
because that's nice and
okay. So after the flavors, the spices, all right, adding some diced tomatoes. I had brought over 4, so we're using 2.5, 3 of them.
yeah. And I used 2 of the tomatoes that you brought, and I had some canned tomatoes left over in the freezer, so I took them out as well. Okay, now we're gonna add the beans.
Okay, and so this is just black beans that you cooked overnight.
I cooked them yesterday.
Cooked them yesterday for
These
8
are-
hours, right?
Yeah, in my slow cooker.
In her slow cooker, 8 hours. And this is just black beans from a can or from a
Nope,
bag?
I bought them at the Galloway's actually here in New West. They have an amazing selection of organic pulses and beans and lentils. So I get most of my beans and lentils from them because I can get them in different sizes too. And they're reasonable
Wow.
price-wise.
So you actually made quite a bit. This is going to be like a hefty portion. I love this.
So I only used 2 cups of dried beans. I washed them and then I filled the water up to 1 inch from the top. I'm actually, there's a lot in here, but I wanted a lot because I know you're a big eater.
Yes, I
And I
am.
wanted to have leftovers for both of us.
A great idea.
And beans are cheap. They're full of iron. They're one of the most nutritious foods.
Protein, obviously.
Lots of iron and protein.
Yeah, vegetarians, right? If you're looking to go plant-based, people,
This
it's
the
a
way to
great
do it.
source. Great source.
And the thing is that I think a lot of people don't know, or you can make a whole bunch of different kinds of dals, and every one of them, they freeze so well. So if you're doing your meal prepping,
Yeah.
perfect. You can just go nuts. Instapot. You can have your beans cooked in about an hour, and then you make all your different dals and freeze them up, and you have different flavors. I've done Mexican chilies or a vegetarian style chili, no meat, but lots of different vegetables.
Yes.
Freeze it. There's so many different kinds of beans. I really encourage people to try lots of different beans because they are so tasty.
Yes. Okay, awesome. So
All right, you gotta get back to kneading.
I'm gonna go back to kneading, people. It's putting me back to work again.
The bread needs you. I'm just gonna pour this out.
Okay. You guys see? All right, there you go. All right. It's a good thing I work out for jobs like this. Oh, what a beautiful day, though. It is currently 6:30 almost on Monday night after daylight savings. So technically it was 5:30. It's 5:30 standard time, but with daylight savings it is 6:30. And the beautiful thing about that is we have an extra hour of sunlight in the evening.
It's lovely. Okay. I'm just gonna throw the can of coconut milk in here.
Okay. So in that dal, she threw in a can of coconut milk, and I'll bring that over in a second to show you guys.
Yeah, let's finish. Yeah, because you can come over as soon as you're done with the naan.
Yeah.
We can then start with the rice next.
Okay. And you know what, guys? I never thought about it, but you can actually create a very aromatic rice by just adding a number of different things. So, nice apron. Hey, thanks. It's my friend Erin. This is my brother.
Hi. I think I met your brother in Surrey School District when I first started a bazillion years ago.
Oh, hey, Thompson. If you stay on a little bit, see if you recognize Erin.
Yeah, I think it was a brief meeting though at Fraser, not Fraser Heights. Trying to think. Quantland Park. When he was TOCing.
Yes, Thompson was a TOC, my bro. Was a TOC for the Surrey School District before he left us and headed to Ontario.
Oh, is he back east now?
Yeah.
Got to check out our sunny day here.
That looks pretty good.
Okay,
It feels
let
pretty
me
nice too.
let me feel it. A little bit longer.
All right.
I'm just going to do some dishes here.
So for those joining, we're making a beautiful, yummy Indian dinner tonight. I'm currently kneading the dough to create naan bread. And the recipe I showed during the live. Yes, Thompson was a bona fide teacher, a music teacher.
Still is, just doesn't teach here.
Yeah. Well, he's a chef now. Well, he was a chef before as well. But Thompson has many talents, including cooking, music, and many passions.
Cooking's the best. Cooking's the bomb. And it's interesting to see how many people have really gotten interested or engaged in cooking since the pandemic
Yes.
showed up.
You know what? Everyone should really learn because it's a, what do you call it? It's a life skill.
It's an essential skill.
Yeah.
And it's part of your personal care routine.
And like I always say, in the Asian cultures, it's a way for us to connect with each other over food.
Yeah, and I hope all cultures have been able to reconnect over food since the pandemic came upon us. I know it's been difficult for those of us living singly, like alone, but I've done dinners online through Zoom, you know, movie night, chat night. It's been really cool.
Hey, Thompson, I'm learning how to knead. So hopefully next time I do my other pizza, I know what the heck I'm doing. Actually, the other one, it's already kneaded. It's just frozen, so I don't think I need to knead it, right?
Then you won't be so needy about the kneading.
Yeah. I've never made naan bread, my friends. So this is my first time. Quite excited. Oh, yes.
Let's see.
My brother's like, your kneading technique needs help.
Let's see. I'm gonna get it into a nice ball.
Oh my gosh. Look at that. People, that's professional.
And then you just pull it towards you.
Oh, that looks so good. You guys see that?
So I'm just gonna move it around here because there's oil in here, so
Okay.
we can let it stretch and rise and it won't dry out on us.
So you need the oil so that it won't dry out.
Dry out and crack.
Okay.
And now it can grow. I'm just gonna get a clean towel to put on top of it.
So remember that, people. Does it have to be a wet towel or
No, I
No.
just use a dry towel.
why do you need to cover it?
So things don't stick to it. Because, you know, I do have screens, so I should put the screen across, but, you know, you want stuff falling into it. But it also keeps the heat in
Okay.
from what,
Rookie, amateur, so I need to ask simple questions.
okay. And because it's nice today, we'll just put it right here in the sunlight. I know
Alright.
probably some people are like, no, don't do that. It's like, no, I don't care, it's my kitchen.
All right, so
All right, next is the rice.
hold on here. Let's take a quick look. Can we look at this? Okay, this is the dal after the
Here's your...
coconut milk was added. Okay, so dal means bean. Is that correct?
Something like that, I think.
So Erin is
Dried
guessing.
thing.
Yes, is guessing that dal means beans.
Beans or lentil. You want to taste it? Let's have a spoon here and you can taste it. I'll wash this dishwater over there.
Oh my gosh! Come on, people! Come on, let's try this. Oh, I can't. Okay, so here it is. Okay, let's see it.
Was that a bean or was that a piece of garlic you just stuffed in your face? No.
Onion.
Okay.
Oh, yummy. Seriously, guys. So aromatic. There's that cinnamon stick. Yeah, I think the browning of the onions really actually makes the difference to the flavor. Okay. Okay, so we'll let this cook,
We're gonna do rice next.
and we're going to work on the rice. Now, okay? We're gonna cover that up. So we're making rice where?
In that little pot back
In
there.
that pot,
So I'm
okay.
gonna take this out, put this out of the way.
All right.
I tend to clean as I go so that we don't have such a huge mess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alrighty, so I'm just doing, I know this is a Gordon Ramsay thing, but I tried it because I wanted to try it and it turned out really nice. So he basically got the pot.
This is a Gordon Ramsay
He did
recipe?
Yeah. It
Okay.
Just, so he had the 500. There's the rice that's been washed.
So just throwing in the rice.
I want to use your stock for this.
Oh, okay. People. So if you remember a few days ago, I made a veggie stock. And so I only used half the bag. And so yesterday I actually used the other half and I made this second batch. And I brought some.
So there's two ways to measure the rice. I can either do it with the 4 cups that I measured, or how do you measure your rice in a pot?
I just throw it in there.
You
I don't-
measure up to the first knuckle? The
No.
water?
For the water, usually, yeah, the first
Okay.
thing here.
Here you go. Okay, and I'll pour it in until we get. Your hands are clean, so.
But honestly, I don't even do it anymore. I just look and
Okay, you tell
lean.
me when then, because I'm trying to do the whole not measure. Because I was watching Uncle Roger on YouTube, and he says.
he said,
"First
hiya,
knuckle." First knuckle. So
hiya.
you tell me when.
All right. That should probably be pretty close to good.
So that's Edison's veggie stock, and then this was something that Gordon Ramsay did, and he had star anise, he had coriander seed pods. We have a couple of green cardamom pods in here. I threw some garlic in because I don't follow everything exactly, and we got a little strip of cinnamon. These will all float to the top after being cooked, so you can pick them out. So we're gonna pop this on.
So like I said, people, I never thought about actually adding any different spices and stuff like that. So I might start doing that actually.
So we're gonna put this on here on a medium heat.
Medium heat.
And I need a lid. Oh, there it is. Sorry, hon.
Sorry.
Tight fitting lid. There she be.
And on medium heat
Yep.
for what?
We're going to bring it to a boil.
Okay.
Then I'm going to take a peek at it and stir it with the fork and turn it down for 10 minutes. And then when I hear it sucking and have these little tiny holes, these little craters,
Yeah.
I'll have a peek to see if that's happening. Then I just turn it off and leave it until I'm ready to serve, because that's one way to keep your rice warm without having to mess up another dish.
Yeah.
So did you taste this?
Yes,
How
yummy.
did it taste?
Very good. So I don't usually do stovetop cooking for rice, but I thought that you're supposed to just cook it, boil it until the water evaporates, and then turn it down and simmer it.
No, you need to simmer it a little bit.
You need to simmer? Okay.
Damn, that's good.
Yes.
Oh, I've never
It's-
tried this recipe before,
Mhm.
because I searched online. I wanted to do a black bean dal, and you know I'm looking for a particular recipe, and that is awesome.
Okay, cool. So
Okay, next we are going to move over to our. Let me pop this in the fridge.
Okay.
Now that we've used what we need
yes,
to.
that should be enough for a noodle dish for you.
Yeah, I'm thinking of. I'm going to. I've got friends coming over Friday, so I'm going to do an Asian-inspired dish, so
Ooh.
that I can use that for them too.
Very nice.
All right, so here we're going to start with our aloo gobi.
Aloo gobi means cauliflower, right?
Aloo. It's potato.
Oh,
Gobi-
aloo.
Gobi is. Wait a minute. I always get them mixed up. Aloo is the cauliflower. No. Aloo is the potato. Gobi is the cauliflower. Sorry.
It's all
And
good.
this is one of my favorite subjis. I'm going to dry these out so that I can get a browning on them, because wet potatoes don't brown.
Potatoes, cauliflower.
And these are all different. That's why I have so
Edison.
many bowls. I have so many bowls because of all the different spices. Because I just want to dry these out.
So you soak them in water
I do because if I don't, they'll turn black because the starch hits the air.
Yeah.
It turns black.
Huh.
So we just keep them in cold water until I'm ready to use them, and then now I'm drying them out. Now let's have a look at the recipe here.
Interesting. Okay.
So I'm gonna add my potatoes first into here. So I got a big frying pan. Are my lights on here? Okay.
You gotta turn the.
So I'm gonna do a little higher than medium. So just on the next button there. I want to make sure that this doesn't boil over.
So this is another dish.
Yeah, this is our subji we're going to do.
What does subji mean?
Vegetable dish, side dish, maybe.
Okay.
I'm gonna cook this with the lid off because it's really. It does say it's supposed to be quite a thin dal, but I think if we let it reduce a bit, which means letting this is water evaporating from your soup pot.
Oh
So
my
if I
gosh.
let more of that water evaporate, the solids are left behind, so it causes it to become thicker.
Yeah.
And I want to thicken this up a bit without having to use a roux or anything. So I'm going to let that simmer with the lid off to thicken it. Okay, so here we're going to, our recipe, I made this a couple weeks ago, and I had it for my meal prep for my lunch for 4 days at work. It's heaven. If you're having a rough day at work, there's nothing nicer than a really nice, beautifully prepared lunch because it really switches your mood. And it's also kind of like that, it's positive self-care because you've got something really tasty to eat.
I agree.
And it's not necessarily things happening at work. Maybe it's just you're not feeling well, or, you know, you just would rather have stayed in bed that day. Okay, so we are going to add our potatoes and we're going to cook them until we get brown spots starting to appear so that they start to brown. And then we're going to add the cauliflower in with it and cook 7 to 8 minutes. Then we have to remove it from here because then we have to do all our thorka and stuff like for this. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to take this off here because this is where I'm going to put the potatoes and things.
All right. So we are about to make an aloo gobi.
Yeah. Aloo gobi.
And the spice mixture that I had measured out is right here. And let's see here. What was in that again?
So you're all here.
Okay. So we had half a teaspoon of cumin seeds, 1.5 teaspoons of ginger paste, 1 teaspoon of chopped garlic, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, half a teaspoon of mango powder, 1/4 teaspoon of ground masala, 1/4 teaspoon of Indian red chili pepper, 1 teaspoon of coriander powder. And then we're about to cook all the veggies up with, let's see here, it says 4 teaspoons of oil, 2 teaspoons of chopped cilantro, and then some salt to taste. All right. Oh, seriously, guys. Just the aroma is so good.
I'll post the websites for the recipes underneath your...
Oh, yes. Oh, okay, yeah. There's websites with the recipes, so...
This one they'll know. This is the recipe we used with the kids in Surrey for
Okay.
the naan bread, so you can just show that to them.
Yeah, I already showed, but I'll show again. So this is the naan bread recipe. So if you guys want to screenshot it sometime, this is what the kids at the schools use.
Yeah. Well, we used it in my school. So.
Yeah, at her school, anyways.
Okay. I'm
Cool.
just gonna let that warm up. This is gonna start bringing the flavors should start mixing nicely soon. The recipe states that this should be cooked for like 6 hours. So if I was
Ooh.
to do this on a weekend, I would have cooked the beans the day before. I would have done this in the morning, thrown it back into my slow cooker, and put it on for 4 hours just to slowly cook it.
Oh my gosh.
But I wanted to cook with you, so we're just gonna do the short version.
That is cool. Thank you. Oh, and so I was telling Erin about the veggie broth, and she was saying actually, as a general rule of thumb, for veggie broth, it's supposed to simmer for 4 hours to get
Yeah.
as a rule of thumb, 4 hours to actually get as much possible of the stuff out of the veggies. So next time I'm gonna have to do 4 hours, strain, and then cool in the fridge overnight. So just an FYI for people.
I was just looking up bone broths and stuff online one day. Somebody had asked me a question, so I had a look. And it was a chef's page, and that was what, I don't remember the chef because it's a few years ago, but that was what he said, and I'd seen it before in some of my books, but you know, that could change, and it's up to everybody, depending on what kind of veggies you're using. Sounds like you had a good selection in there.
Oh yeah.
It's
So-
got a beautiful color.
So here we got some rice cooking. This is our dal.
You can grab a fork out of there for me.
Yep. We're about to cook up the aloo gobi.
So you just throw the potatoes in here.
What would you do, Thompson, at Bishop's for veggie stock? Write it in. In the meantime, we're cooking up the, what are these?
These are potatoes.
What
These
type
are
of-
little red potatoes. You can use any. I've used every kind of potato. Yellow ones, russets.
Okay, so it doesn't matter what potatoes, just
No,
potatoes.
It
Okay.
says, the recipe says 2 medium potatoes. So I have all these little ones, so this works for me.
Okay, very good. And you know, for those who are versed in cooking, the reason why I ask all these maybe elementary, basic questions because many people maybe they don't cook that much. So I think it's good to understand what's going behind the mind of a chef and to understand the little simple things. Thompson, what did you guys used to do for veggie stock at Bishop's? All right, so browning the.
You have 2 people watching?
Yeah.
Is that what that is? It's the
Yeah.
eyeball.
All right, so. All right, so my friends, if you want to know what the Bishops did for veggie stock, my brother is writing the recipe in the comment section. So Bishops, for those who don't know, is a high-end fine dining restaurant in Vancouver West on West 4th. I don't know if it's still there. I'm assuming it is, but a very high-end place. So if you want to see how they do it, my brother Thompson is sharing with you guys.
I watched a documentary with the owner, Bishop. He made this documentary on Knowledge Network. And he went to India and met Vandana Shiva, who is the main woman that rallied against patenting seeds, genetically, and claiming seeds is a company's own and patenting it. And I can't remember the name of the documentary. I've seen it several times. But it's Bishop, the guy who owned that restaurant. So I don't even, he might still be alive, I'm not sure, but it was a really lovely documentary. I ordered it in for my classroom at one of my schools, but I've since left that school.
Thompson says godfather of local sustainable ingredients, JB.
Yeah, he's a really, really interesting man. The documentary is fabulous. I still, if it's online, will watch it because he just went to all these countries and interviewed all these people about the importance of food and how it's grown and why GMOs are actually really messing with the cultures and the systems in these countries.
Yeah, there's so many factors that we're not really aware of, right, living over here.
And I really like Vandana Shiva. I studied her a lot and read a lot of her work and used her in a lot of my writings in university. So I was a geography major. And I was really into studying about genetically engineering, is it really healthy for us? But it's not necessarily the engineering, it's who is controlling the food source. And the person who's controlling the food source gets to decide who gets food and who doesn't, and that's where the big issue is. So essentially, food insecurity.
Gotcha.
It's like water is a common right, but when you're selling water rights, who gets to own it and who gets to use it, things like that. So
Yeah. Thompson said he's supposed to retire last year, and then COVID hit, so he's still open.
Okay. We should go just for fun one day. I know it's high-end, expensive, but what the hell?
Yeah, I like to treat myself every once in a while,
I do too.
especially to celebrate something. So
And he buys locally. In that documentary, he was going around to the farmers here and buying stuff for his own restaurant. So supporting local growers. I'm just turning it down so it's more of a simmer. I don't want it to have a rolling boil because then it's probably going to break the beans up, and I don't want that to happen. I don't want to mush. I want to identify my beans.
yes, I like that too. Okay, so we don't want a rolling boil because if you do, the beans will get mushy and too soft.
Possibly.
Potentially. Okay, cool. Good to know. Good to think about.
A lot of this I don't even think about. I just do it, and now I have to put words to it because you're asking, why did you do that? And I'm like,
I'm always curious, right? So
no, it's cool because now it's like this is what I need to speak more with my students when I'm teaching them. Because this is going all the time at work, right?
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. And so, what are we looking for in terms of the?
I want some browning.
We want some browning. Okay.
So kind of like when you're doing hash browns, you want that beautiful caramelization on some of the cut sides or even on the skin side. And it's about being patient. I've been learning about patience a lot these last few months. So far that's turned out far more amazing than I thought it would.
Oh.
So now our rice is boiling, kind of. So just want to give this a stir.
Is that to just get the flavors?
I do it. I don't know why I do. Well, I want to see if it's boiling. I don't know why I do it. It's just something I picked up from somebody. So it's boiling. So I'm just gonna put that on for a minute or so. Let it get boiling, and then I'm gonna turn it down.
Okay. Do we? Is this okay?
I stir it so it doesn't stick to the bottom.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So I want to turn that down a little
Down a little bit more. Okay. Yeah.
So we want to peek. There, we got a good boil going on there.
There we go. Yeah.
And I'm going to turn it down to low. So 6:49, so 7 o'clock.
Yep.
I'm going to check it. If it's got all these little craters and it's kind of, then I'm going to turn it off, leave the lid on. A lot of mistakes that I see in my classroom, kids will boil the rice with the lid off. And then when I tell them, no, you need a tight-fitting lid, because I teach them how to cook their rice on a pot on the burner.
Stovetop, yeah.
Because not everyone's going to have a rice cooker, right?
That's true.
And so...
You should if you're Asian, though.
Yes, I guess. I guess that's
Asian.
the first... Is that the... Ooh, that's not the going away gift to college. It's the rice cooker in your backpack.
Yeah. Okay, we gotta... So, we had a... what do you call it? Potato went overboard. Wash this puppy.
It will happen.
And we'll put that puppy back in.
Yep. Waste not, want not.
And this is why we have an apron, people, so we can just wipe the water off.
Yeah. So now we've got a nice little simmer going on here.
Nice simmer. Okay, and so for those who are joining, we're looking for a little bit browning on the potatoes. This is aloo gobi we're making. Now, how soft? Like, do we want the potatoes soft, or
Not right now. We're just looking for color right now.
do we eventually want it soft?
They will get soft, but we have a process we need to go through first.
Okay.
But I cook the potatoes first because they do take longer than cauliflower.
Yeah.
And I don't want to overcook my cauliflower. The first time I ever made this years ago, I ended up with a mush and hard potatoes because the recipe I used said, cook the cauliflower, add the potatoes, do X, Y, and Z. So now I really study my recipes to make sure that, you know, I'm getting the right consistency. My colleague used to bring it to work all the time. It was divine. So now I'm not quite at her level because she is Indian, but I'm getting there. I know that my friends, when I've had them over, those friends of mine who are from Indian culture, they love my musur dal, so that's a red dal. They say it's awesome. I want your recipe because it's my husband's favorite. So I know I'm hitting it with my musur dal. So
Nice. Honestly, I love Indian food. But like I said, it's just so many spices, and I haven't really tried.
and to see my friend cook, She has the Tyndall. It's the big stainless steel with all the little compartments with all the different herbs and spices. Like I could identify a few. I probably could identify more now because I'm more used to it. But I watched her cook one day. I was in her kitchen and she's just a little bit of this, a lot of that, some of this, a pinch of this, and I'm just like, it happens so fast.
So she wasn't even measuring.
No, she just, because that's, you know, when you learn from your parents or anyone from your family, you measure by eye, and I do that with some cooking, but not for Indian cooking or some of my other Asian dishes. I need to have a recipe in order to balance the flavors. And once I get really good at it, then I can do it by eye as well, but not usually Indian food.
Okay, and so you're cooking this on medium heat, right?
Yeah, and so I'm getting some brown spots on my potatoes there. See, it's getting nicely browned there.
Yeah.
Some of it's being left behind on the pan. This is a ceramic pan. I love my ceramic pans. Okay, jump in. So we got some brown spots, and we can add. And I've cut my cauliflower bigger than what it says in the recipe, so that it doesn't disappear on me.
Yeah, because it's going to.
You want it kind of meaty,
Yeah.
in the finished product, right? You want to be able to bite into it and it squishes between your teeth and you're like, oh yeah.
I love cauliflower.
So do I.
Mind you, I love all veggies, so.
Me too. So we're just going to saute this for 7 to 8 minutes.
So you want the cauliflower to be a little soft, but not where it crumbles, right?
I think we just want to warm it up at this point because we still do have a bit of cooking to go here. But we're going to take this out and then we're going to start our thorka for it. And then we're going to add the potato and the cauliflower back in. And then we're going to let it simmer until everything is tender.
Yeah, what's a thorka again?
It's the mixture of your garlic, your ginger, your spices, and the tomato, as it was explained to me. But I mean, everyone's got a different definition.
I heard the Trinity, right?
Yes, it's the Holy Trinity.
What is it? The garlic,
the onion,
and ginger. Yeah, garlic, right? Garlic, onion, ginger. Yeah.
Just gonna get that a stir. And let's have a look at the rice.
Any of my Indian friends are listening to this, and you know, feel free to confirm.
It's a little watery. I'm a little concerned about that.
Oh, it smells so good though. Oh my gosh. Seriously, guys.
Then you know it will thicken when it cools down. Like tomorrow morning when you scoop it out of your dish, it's going to be really thick. And when you warm it up, it'll be thicker. Is the beans, for some reason, they're really good at just soaking up all the liquid. It's really interesting. So now it's really thin, but tomorrow it's going to be perfect.
Oh yeah. All right, so for those joining, we're making a dal with just amazing aromatics. I already shared a list of the spices we put in, so I'm not going to do that again. You can listen to it later. Over here, we're making an aloo gobi. That's potato and cauliflower.
We don't cauliflower sabji.
And then are we creating a sauce in this as well, right?
Yeah. As soon as I'm finished with this, that's the next part, is the thorka, and then we'll add it back into that and let it simmer. I've got the big lid over there, so we'll let it simmer in the gravy, so to speak.
Yeah.
But it's not a really wet sabji. Like some sabjis can have so if you're looking at what's the one with the spinach? I like that one too. It's really
Palak?
delicious. Yeah, palak paneer, or there's another name for it. But palak, yeah, it's very thin and watery, kind of. This one is more thicker and drier.
Yeah. I just love Indian food. Seriously, it's just so good. Like for those of you who may not like veggies as much, Indian food is a great way to just add so much flavor, and still get your veggies in, and it's very healthy for you. So, and you can make big batches, right?
Huge batches, and everything freezes so well. My friend too was vegetarian because she's Sikh. They did big batch cooking and they froze a lot of it so that during the week, because both her and her husband worked, they could just defrost things and it was for lunches and stuff like that. So it's great. When you're thinking about stretching your budget for shopping, so I think when I made my aloo gobi, so I got a cauliflower for $3. I think the 2 potatoes cost less than $1. I made rice, which I get a big bag of basmati from Superstore for $10.
What?
That's 8 kilos.
$10.
Yeah, 8 kilos of rice, which lasts me a year and a half.
Oh my gosh.
Unless Edison comes to visit the and then I did, I did some dal, like just some red lentil dal on the side, which is just, salt, pepper, caramelized onions, and a big handful of cilantro.
Cilantro.
So that bag is probably $3 for a kilo bag, but I'm only using... So my whole lunch, the whole week, so 4 lunches plus 2 dinners, it's like $1.50 when you really break it down.
That's very good.
Okay, I'm turning that off.
All right, so
And I'm putting this in here.
rice is getting done. Okay, so after browning the potatoes and putting the cauliflower in for about 5-6 minutes, we're just putting it to the side, and we're going to start on the thorka, which is the trinity of the base of all Indian cooking, really, is what I've been told. Like every Indian dish basically starts off with the triad of ginger, garlic, and onion. So
And Italian cooking would be sofrito. French is a mirepoix.
hold on, can't hear you.
Sorry, I'm making noise. So Italian cooking would be the sofrito. So they have their base, and in French cooking would be the mirepoix.
So what's the Italian base? What does that consist
It's
of?
like your onions, garlic, carrot, celery, chopped up fine, soft, and it provides the flavor for everything. Mirepoix is very similar. Okay, where's my recipe?
That's great information. I never knew.
So our cumin seeds. Give me a second. I'm just gonna add a little. Yeah, I know it's a dirty pot, but I've done this before. There's some flavor in there.
So
I just
you
need to grab my cumin seeds. We're gonna add a little bit more cumin. I should have had them separated out, but that's okay. We will add a few more.
okay? So I had asked you about using sunflower oil instead of say canola oil. I know in a lot of Chinese cooking or just Asian, we use canola a lot of times, and you were mentioning that it's in North America.
I think. Well, I like sunflower oil. It's hotter.
Yeah. Hotter.
But this is a few years ago, though, right? So I don't know what's going on now, but canola oil is mostly 80% of it's genetically engineered in Canada, which is fine. But I was going through I'm not eating that kind of thing phase. So we're just gonna put our cumin seeds here until they pop, and then
Oh, so aromatic, so good.
we're gonna put the onion next.
All right, so
So
heating
at
up.
that time, the sunflower oil it was on a waiting list to be approved to be growing genetically engineered sunflower oil. So this actually, when you're talking about it with me now, it's like 10 years ago. So you can look on the agricultural website about GMOs, and it'll show you what's been approved and what's not been approved. Okay. They crackling.
So we're looking for the cumin seeds to start crackling.
You have to hear.
Can you guys hear anything?
There's some recipes you do this with mustard seeds and they bounce out of the pot. They're flying all over the kitchen. There we go.
Oh, there's the crackling.
Okay.
Very nice. Oh, okay, so here's the trilogy.
So we're going to add the onion and cook until translucent.
So this dal is starting to thicken up a little bit. A little bit.
Awesome. Okay, let me just check this in here. Okay, I'm going to turn my broiler on.
Oh, that's for the naan?
Yeah. And let's check our bread, see if it's doubled in size.
All right, so let's check out our non-bread, folks. Okay, so we made the bread. We kneaded it. Oh my gosh, look at that. It grew. That's because of the active yeast?
Yeah, we're just going to cover it back up again.
Yep.
And leave it. I'm just going to go close mine. Actually, I think I'll leave the door open for a bit here because it's a nice breeze. We're going to have a beautiful sunset tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, you go ahead. Okay, and then next, once that's translucent, we'll add our garlic and our ginger.
Translucent. Oh, okay.
So kind of see-through, glassy.
Yeah. And why is that?
What? Why? I don't know. Okay, I don't know the answer to that. It's just that's the instructions in the recipe.
Probably pulls out the flavors.
And of course, yeah.
And it, because onions, when you cook them, become sweeter, right?
Yeah, depends. Some yes, some not so much. I love a nice strong cooking onion though, like if I'm doing... Okay, I know I'm working on my vegetarianism, but if I'm having liver, I want a nice strong onion for my gravy, or just a pile of fried onions on top. Or even in an omelet, I like the stronger onion.
This is a
Is that
beautiful...
translucent to you? A little bit more.
A little bit more, I think.
Okay.
It's getting there. It's a nice color. Nice aroma.
So now when we add this, because I used ginger paste, but I've also added some extra chopped ginger, because last time I thought, ooh, I need a little bit more of a ginger flavor in there. We're going to cook this until it doesn't smell raw anymore. So if you want to smell it, it has a raw scent to it.
Yes.
So you want to cook that until that scent is gone.
Do we want to turn it down a little bit?
No, it's fine.
It's fine? Okay.
Yeah. About 2 minutes. I just got to get my oven mitts and move my rack down one level. A lot of people don't cook in their stoves, especially not their broilers. I just taught my students how to broil chicken. It's like an indoor barbecue.
So you want to bring it down a little bit.
Because I don't want to burn my bread.
Yeah.
Okay. How does that smell?
Oh, heavenly. Are you kidding me?
Edison just floated away.
I love garlic. Oh my gosh. Garlic is one of the most... it's just so good for your immune system.
And ginger too. Even if I don't use all my ginger, I'll boil it and make a tea with it, and you just drink it, warm it up, and have it before bed. It's so good for everything, especially girl problems. No, seriously.
Yeah?
You want to smell that?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so she added the spice mix.
Okay, now we're going to add our tomatoes.
Adding tomatoes, which brings in extra flavor as well as liquid.
Yeah, so good.
Now, it doesn't matter if we use fresh tomatoes, or canned tomatoes, or...
No, and sometimes in winter, tomatoes are like so expensive. So I just get your run-of-the-mill, no-name brand chopped tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's nice to use the fresh ones if you get some really nice ones in the summer. And I do that.
Yep.
Okay, so what are we going to do here? Okay, we're going to cover this with that lid. Big one, yeah. Pop that on there, and we're going to let that turn it up a little bit. Let's just check the thickness on this. Oh yes, it is thickening quite nicely. So what we can do with this now is I just want to have a taste.
Did you turn this off already? Yeah, that's off.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
just going to take this out.
Cinnamon?
Yeah, it's becoming a little bit too strong on the cinnamon front.
So once you use a cinnamon stick like that, is it basically done?
I won't use it again. I don't want to cross-contaminate my food.
Gotcha.
Bay leaves, apparently you can also use over and over. But again,
Really?
I don't want to cross-contaminate.
Ooh, that's an idea because after using it, I could probably use it for my
Stop.
my stock and then put it into my rice.
You could do it that way, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good to know. I've actually never cooked with cinnamon sticks, so.
I have, but mostly for desserts, right? It's like you, it's been a little apprehension when it comes to cooking things with a lot of different spices because it's about getting that balance where when you bite into something, it's layers and layers. It's like the flavor profile and layers of flavor. And right now this has a little strong on the cinnamon side, which is fine. We can balance that out with
Oh, nice.
some cilantro after, or you can add more coconut milk or just enjoy it.
Yeah. And so we're gonna throw all this back in.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give this a stir.
What
I
do-
want to melt the tomatoes.
Okay, so we want to melt the tomatoes.
Ooh, so stiff and so.
So you want the tomatoes
I just want them to
melted.
cook down a bit more.
Okay.
So this liquid is going to help steam the cauliflower and cook the potatoes.
Mm.
So they'll suck up all the liquid. I'm going to add the cilantro now.
Oh, that looks so like once you add the green. Oh my gosh.
It really makes it pop, doesn't it?
Oh, it makes it pop so much. Because we eat with our eyes first, right, friends?
So I'll just cover that for a few more minutes. I'm still getting used to, even though I've had the stove for a while, it's ceramic, so I can't tell where the burners are. I have to look for where the red is.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so here we are going to.
We're heading over to the naan here.
So here we go.
So it has roughly doubled in size.
Yeah. There we go. So we're just gonna punch it down.
So what does punching it down do?
Get rid of the gases in there because it's all the carbon dioxide that the yeast has created. And that way when you bake your bread, you don't have all these giant holes.
Okay, so you punch it out, punch all the gases
So
out.
if you ever got a loaf of bread and there's a big hole in the center, it's either they didn't punch it down or it's overproof.
Oh, good to know.
So we're going to cut these into 4 equal sizes, each piece.
Oh, baby, I love naan bread. Especially with a maybe some garlic.
Yeah, if you want to, I can tell that some of these are a little bit bigger than others, but that's okay.
That's right. It's all coming to our bellies, anyways.
So I'm just going to roll them into little balls, and we're just going to let them rest here. Did you want to try some?
It seems simple enough.
So you don't want that hole in the bottom. So the more pressure you put on this part of your hand, the more perfect your little ball of dough is.
So there's an actual technique.
I used to work in a bakery.
Oh,
So I could do. Yeah, I worked in bakeries for many years. There we go. These are really big, these ones. So you need to try some. Did you want to put your camera there and you can try some?
yep. All right, me developing some of my skills. Let's go, people.
So you want to hold your hand like this. You're going to put your pressure on this part of your hand here.
Yeah.
That's where this just helps to keep the ball rolling. You can do it clockwise or counterclockwise. And the more pressure you put down, the better the ball becomes because it's like it's tightening up the dough. So there we go.
So let's see here. So
While you're doing that, I'm gonna put the cauliflower and the potatoes.
I'm not kneading. I'm kneading it.
No, you're just rolling
Just
it into
roll it,
a
okay.
ball. You're shaping. That's what you're
Oh,
doing.
okay,
You're
I'm shaping. Okay. Okay, I can shape.
I'll shape it.
Shape, shape, shape. Shape, shape, shape.
Shape your farm.
Shape
Shape your farm. Shape your non.
Oonch, oonch. Come on. And I want to add some pressure, right? You said?
Let's see how you're doing.
Definitely not a professional.
You gotta hold your hand like a cage. And you just little tiny circles, not too big, and lots of pressure from the palm. So you're pushing down like this, right? There we go. Nice little ball of dough.
Maybe I need a bigger dough.
Yeah, maybe.
My hand's bigger. Alright, so we're making, yeah, see, this is better, I think.
So you're just, okay. More pressure, you have to get your hand as flat as possible. And
We're shaping these balls if you're just joining us.
there we
We're
go.
making naan bread.
There we go.
Better, right?
But you shouldn't have any of those things, because you could say wrinkles, because you're not putting enough pressure on it.
Oh.
And you should keep the ball in one place. You shouldn't be moving it around.
Oh.
See? So I don't let you can see I don't let it move. I'm just letting the bottom move, and then it just pulls it under.
I'll need to work on that skill.
There, see?
Looks nice.
So we're just gonna let those rest, and I'm gonna tidy this, and we're gonna leave the flour here because we need that for the rolling part.
Okay.
Get this out of the way.
So that's the naan bread, friends.
Yeah, and then my rolling pins in here. Ready? I have added the potatoes and the cauliflower to
Okay.
the orga.
So the potatoes and the cauliflowers were added back into the thorka.
Now, do we want salad or not? I don't think so, right?
Yeah.
I've
Probably
got
not.
pickles. Okay, so what we'll do is I'll put this away. Now, if you wanted to put your camera up there and then stir the cauliflower mixture, I'm just going to put some stuff away and tidy up over here, and you can have a chat with the crew,
All right.
with the audience. How many you got watching? None?
Oh, not right now. Okay, what are we doing here?
You can stir the cauliflower mixture while I tidy up over here.
Oh, baby. Smells so good.
I'm just going to do some dishes and tidy up so that we don't have so much to do after.
Is this more to mix the flavors or just non?
You want to get things mixed up really nice in there, and then put the lid back on because it's going to take about 15-20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
There's a certain texture we want from the cauliflower and the potatoes. Potatoes, you should be able to put a fork through it or bite into it. It's lovely. Shouldn't have any raw potato flavor.
Yeah. That's been going for about 10 minutes already, right?
That?
Yeah.
No, I just put them in when you were rolling your first dough ball.
Oh, gotcha.
Guys, we need to cook the bread and we need to get that ready. So I'm going to get some butter for brushing. It's not butter, it's like a vegetable product. So it's not a dairy product I'm going to brush on it. Just to let you know.
Sweet. Okay. So, that's pretty mixed pretty good. I'm gonna let this puppy cook for a while. There we go. Okay, so
Here, grab a towel. You're gonna dry some dishes.
all right.
Here you go.
So we're cleaning as we go.
So we can put the dishes over here on the clean counter, and then I'll pop them away. Because I've got a few more to wash. Yeah, always clean as you go. And that's what makes cooking so much easier, because basically all you have your pots and pans and eating dishes left over if you don't have a dishwasher. I have a dishwasher, but I don't use it very often, only when I have big parties where lots of people are eating or in drinking, like snacks and stuff. So
Hey Donna, how's it going? Let me pull it up.
ooh, ouch. Oh, your phone, is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay. How you doing? Okay, so we are making Indian dinner tonight, and so we've got some naan bread that we made. So if you go back to look at it, you'll see it, and then we're gonna throw it in the oven later.
In a bit.
We're gonna in a little bit. Over here we've got a dal dish, which is beans, black beans, some spices. Over here we got some rice with some aromatics, some spices in there, yummy. Then over here is the aloo gobi.
Yep.
So that's cauliflower. Yep, cauliflower and potatoes. Very good. So, it's gonna be freaking amazing. Seriously. And so right now, we're just kind of waiting for things to happen, to cook, and to get the flavors out. And so in between, we as in like Erin is cleaning up the dishes, and I'm just trying to help with drying them. So let's see here. But I am learning some new skills, folks.
You're learning not to be afraid to use multiple spices in one dish.
Yes. So yeah, I was saying before at the earlier part that I love Indian food, but one of the reasons why I haven't tried a lot is because there's so many spices going on at one time, and I don't know what type of mix I should be doing or. Or what? So. Not working very well.
The gooseneck not goosing?
Oh, here we go. You see that? That's the aloo gobi. Yum yum.
Check my messages. It seems like someone texting me. Having a text message break.
Oh, aloo. Oh, yes. That's how you spell it. I thought A-L-U.
A-L-U or A-L-O-O. I've seen both spellings. Depends on who's doing the spelling, of course.
So Donna, you can actually watch this later and actually start from scratch and see how to actually make all these dishes. I read out the ingredients, the spices. Because yeah, there's so many, but it's so flavorful. Oh man. I'm smelling all these flavors. I'm just like, oh, I'm getting so hungry. I cannot wait to try it. But the biggest thing I found was, I think the key is just having all the spices. And then Erin was just saying a good idea is to actually get all the spices out beforehand, the night before, so that when you get going and actually mix everything, that everything's prepared. Because it took me a while just to measure it out, which is amazing. I want to see how to make naan. Yeah. So actually, in the replay, Donna, you'll see the recipe to make naan is actually on a piece of paper. So you could always screenshot it or just rewrite it yourself. But right now, here, I'll show you. The naan is the balls right there. We're just letting it rest. And then once it's ready, we're gonna throw it in the oven and broil them. The balls look very nice. I didn't do those.
I'm really good with
I tried. I don't have the technique down yet. But I look forward to it one day. I would only actually I would only actually try this with a professional. Because like I said, I guess a little intimidated by all the Indian cooking. But I love it, seriously. And so, as we are waiting still, clean as you go. Saves a lot of work later.
Yes.
And so that's what I'm doing. Erin cleaned the dishes. I'm just drying them off as she checks her messages. But seriously, guys, like I was saying before, if you have a challenge getting enough veggies in your diet, Indian cuisine is a great way to do it with a lot of flavors. The oven. Yes, Donna. I believe we are broiling those balls to actually make the naan.
Okay. Let's get the light on. I'm just going to go close the door.
I don't know really what to show you right now because everything's just kind of simmering. And I'm just cleaning, so. But here's the thing, friends. On the replay, if you didn't know, you can actually watch or speed up the video if you watch it on a desktop. So, and eventually I'm going to upload this on my YouTube channel. So, yeah, if you watch it there, then you can actually watch at 2x speed, especially when nothing's going on, like right now. Yeah, I'm just not going to start a second live, so that's why I'm just gonna let it go. And it should be done within probably 10-15 minutes, my guess. So, we're getting there, folks, we're getting there. And also, this is a recording for myself, so I remember how to do all this.
For the archives.
Yes.
For prosperity. To show that you too can cook complicated dishes.
Mm-hmm. Only on an Apple, not Android or PC. What are you saying there, Donna? I believe you can watch it double speed on any, what do you call it?
Here we go now.
Oh, okay, we're flattening the naan bread. Okay, hold on, guys. Well, you keep going. I'll show you guys in a second. Just hold on.
And
Can't
you
fast
got to get Edison over to dry your dishes. I've never seen anyone dry dishes so fast. This is awesome.
All right, so here, I'll show you guys. Can't fast forward or rewind?
You know, do you see the switch next to the carburetor?
Yep.
You want to turn it on? There we go.
Oh, nice. Okay. So I'm going to show you. This is Erin rolling out the naan bread. Is there a certain technique that we should consider or just roll, flatten them out?
Yeah, I mean, I know in the restaurants you get these massive ones and they've got, this is just how my friend taught me. So some are bigger than others because the dough pieces were bigger.
Mm.
You can fit them pretty close together because they're going to puff up.
Okay.
I might not be able to fit them all on here, but that's okay. We'll do 2 batches.
Okay. 2 batches might be nicer, actually.
And they don't take long to cook.
Ah.
But the nice thing about the bread is that you can hold it warm. Here we go, I'm gonna put it in here. We can hold it on the lower shelf to keep it warm. So we'll use this.
And so we're just literally just broiling it, right? Where there's no
You can
bake
bake
or
it
anything.
too, but I thought I'd try broiling it for something different today.
Oh.
So I'll see if it works or not.
Okay.
Because I got my new brush here.
Let's take a look here, folks. Let's see here. All right, so. Oh, there's no light. Is there light in the oven?
Yeah, it's
Right
there.
here. Oh, that. Okay. There you go. Let's take a look in the oven. So it is currently broiling on high. And you want to see it puff up? Okay. And how long should it take, roughly, Erin?
5-6 minutes.
5-6 minutes. Okay. So that's what it looks like right now as we pop it in. It's not on the highest rack. It's probably closer to a little bit higher than the middle. So we'll see how it goes. And I'll bring it down as it starts to puff up. And if I miss it, Donna, there's a second batch. All right, there's the aloo gobi. There you go, Donna. Take a look. No, it's like the second rack, Donna. Second shelf. It's just above the middle.
Yeah, the one up from the middle.
Yeah.
So I'm going to turn this down because it's almost there, but I don't want to overcook my cauliflower. As much as I love my cauliflower, I really don't like it when it's overcooked because it's flavorless.
Yes.
So you'll be eating lots of delicious things, but you don't know what this blob of stuff is, right?
Ho, ho, ho. Oh, it already rose a little bit. You guys see that? I don't know if you guys can see.
Sorry, I know I'm in your way and you're trying to film.
Oh, it's all good. I'm in your way. We don't know. You guys see the naan bread? It already rose quite a bit. It's like doubled in size. And that was only like a minute, maybe 2. Oh, baby. I hope it's clear enough for you guys to see. Hey, Donna, is it clear? The video quality? And look at that middle naan bread. It's already puffing.
Yeah, that's what we want. Yoo-hoo.
Puff, puff, puff.
Puff, puff. Get your puff on. Do-do-do-do.
So this is naan bread, folks. Naan bread. Oh, I love naan bread. Oh my gosh.
And there's so many different recipes, so try different ones. Don't be afraid of yeast. You got to show it who's boss.
Yeah, so for the original recipe, I actually had buttermilk, but I'm not a huge fan of, well, let's just say dairy doesn't agree all the time. So we're just using water for this recipe, which should still turn out quite well. Holy smokes, that middle one's really puffing. Oh, they're all puffing now. Hey, Renisa.
I'm just gonna, I gotta get some tongs out because I'm gonna turn them over at some point.
Oh, you got them over?
Oh, look at them go!
Yeah.
That's so awesome! This is actually the first time I've cooked naan in my house. Usually I do it with the kids at school, right?
Oh, yes. So for those who are joining, Erin is a home ec teacher in the school district. And so she teaches a lot of young future chefs how to do some home cooking with different cuisines. Wow, some of those are really puffy. Do we need to turn them over now, or?
Not yet. I want a little bit more color on them. Sorry,
Sorry.
I'm just getting the garnish ready. How's the color? Are they getting a little brown?
They are.
Okay, so let's do this.
Okay.
So
So we're gonna turn them over.
here we go. Good day.
Okay, here we
Oh,
go.
look at that
Look
color.
at that. Oh my gosh.
Smell that.
Can you smell it, friends? Oh,
Hey, we want
freshly baked bread is what it smells like.
And you know what? These freeze amazingly. You can make tons of them and freeze them and then whip them out one at a time. when you need them.
Ooh, so Renisa, a friend of mine, she's saying there's another kind of Indian bread instead of naan called puri.
Oh, puris. Puris. I know what puris are. Yeah,
Yes.
they're really delicious.
What's the difference?
I have not made them and I haven't looked for a recipe for them yet. I've had them over at the dosa house in Surrey, and they come with like a little, kind of like a soup with really tasty.
Hey, so Renisa, what's the difference between puri and naan bread? Hey, so when you turn the naan bread over, it deflated a little bit.
Yeah, because it lost the heat, right?
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Oh, baby. This is gonna be so good.
They're popping back up again though. Are they getting some color on that side?
Slowly, not there yet.
That's okay.
Starting a little bit. Oh, Donna, you're familiar with puri. Okay. I'm not. I might have tried it before. I just maybe didn't know what it's called.
There's puris, there's chapatis, there's rotis.
So how do you know when to take it out?
I'm looking for color.
Just look for color. Okay. Oh man. The smell when we turned them over was just so good.
Okay, I need you to taste test here, Edison. So I'm going to pass you something. Check those potatoes. They'll be a little firmer than, say, a russet.
Tasting.
It's hot. Watch your face. Doneness?
Oh baby.
Yeah.
So good. Oh, and it's still it's not overly soft. So
No, I don't want them. I want them a little bit firmish. Not that I like to fish too much, but I don't want them falling apart.
So as you guys can see, we're making a feast tonight. Let's see this naan. Oh,
the
color's coming. Starting to come.
Yeah.
You guys see that? And so we are putting
Just some. It's butter, but it's non-dairy butter.
a non-dairy butter, so a vegan butter.
Yeah.
Very nice. Ooh, that looks so good.
Put them in here. I've always wanted to make naan at home, but I've never ever gotten around to it. So now
That looks so good.
this is so much fun.
Mmm.
I'm gonna turn this off. Turn it that way.
Oh, Renisa just put a website with a what do you call it? A recipe. Thank you, Renisa. Look at
Puris?
those for the puris. Yes.
Cool.
Did I say puri?
Puris.
Puris. Puris.
I might be saying it wrong. Here's the next batch.
All right. So the rest of the naan, and just coating the naan with the vegan butter here. When you take it out, be careful, folks. It's very hot, so use tongs.
And it's going to taste nice with the kalonji. Now there's another naan you can make where you stuff it with caramelized or browned onions inside with garlic and cilantro and some seasonings. It's quite yum. So in you go.
Oh my gosh. You're making my mouth water. Oh, saliva's coming out. Oh my gosh.
So I want to keep these warm, so I'm going to pop them down here because there's not that much heat down here. The heat's all in the top, so I'll leave them there.
Good idea.
I'll leave that mess right now because I have to do 3 more. So, yeah, so you can continue chatting.
Yep, so she's got the, on the bottom rack, to keep it warm. The naan that's done, and then in the top, because we're broiling, there's only heat coming up from the top, or the majority of it, anyways. Hey, Renisa. Yeah, I know, right? Honestly, I'm so excited to try this. I love Indian food. Hey, Renisa. Do you cook a lot of Indian food? Because seriously, I love Indian food. Oh my gosh, it's so good, so flavorful, and I was saying to people before, it's a great way to get all your veggies in, and still taste really good. So, getting hungry. It is what time is it? 7:36, and I believe we started
Right at 5. 5:15.
shortly after 5, well, quarter after 5. So I guess, oh wow, I guess this live is about an hour and a half. Probably it's just over an hour. Hey, can you guys see how long I've been on this live? I don't know if there's a timer, but my guess is probably just over an hour. So, but it looks like we are getting to the end of it pretty soon. So I'm excited to try it. Renisa, I made curry, potato and beans curry 2 weeks ago. Yummy. Do you use a lot of different veggies, or meatless Mondays for Donna? Hey, so Renisa, like with the with certain dishes, is it okay to add a bunch of just different veggies? Takes a while to cook from scratch. Yeah, Renisa, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm finding. So we're going an hour and a half here. So yeah, that's another thing with the Indian cooking, right? It takes a while.
Better to do it on the weekend because then you have the time. I wouldn't if I had to work today, this would not have happened.
Yeah. Oh, an hour and 37 minutes. Thank you, Donna. Appreciate it. So yeah, it is March break for the school and for the kids, and so that's why we're actually doing this. But normally, Erin would not be able to do this on a weeknight.
Hell no.
Weekend, yes.
Weekend, yes.
Different veggies is good. Okay, good. Yeah, because I love different flavors of veggies, and so I find certain ones sometimes not as flavorful or not as yummy as other ones. For example, I love eggplant, but for eggplant to be good, it has to be in a sauce that's really good, and it has to be really, really cooked.
You need to roast it on a barbecue.
To have it soft. And so, let's see here. All right. It's the final stretch, folks. Final stretch. Look at that naan puff up. Oof. Once it gets some color, we're going to flip those puppies over.
I've already flipped them. They're on the other side now.
Like I said, they already got some color, and we flipped them. Oh, this is exciting. I don't know about you guys. This is exciting to me. And once we get that color, we're going to take them out of the oven, cover it with some vegan butter, cilantro, and that's all she wrote. Then we're going to serve it up and eat, baby. Oh, Renisa, you don't like eggplant curry, eh? I love eggplant, period. But,
curry. Oh, brinjal mole. Oh my god, it's so good. But I'm still working on my eggplant. It's a bit of a different beast to work with. How are we doing for color? Should we look?
Let's see.
Oh, yeah, they're done.
They're done.
So let's cancel that. Oof, that's hot. By my eyebrows.
Oh, the color looks amazing.
Here, I got it. It's all good. Watch it. Smoking hot. Okay.
Here we go. Oh, use the tongs. Now, you put cilantro on top of it, right?
Yeah, just sometimes it's served like that in the restaurant. I haven't seen it. Well, I haven't eaten it for a long time, but I like it.
I love cilantro. Oh, what else could you put on it besides cilantro?
I have seen like the chaat masala. This is it here. Oh, it's in there somewhere. It's like a powdered seasoning.
Okay.
I've also just butter mostly. I've not really seen. I've seen this in some restaurants, but not too many. Okay, so.
That's too funny, Donna. Donna writes, I'm parked outside Tinseltown watching you, and cop is parked across the street just sitting there.
Say hello to the police officer.
Say, what's up?
What's up, homie?
Oh, look at that. You add some green and it just pops. Boom, shakalaka.
Let's take this one.
All right, folks. It's time to serve it up.
There we go. So I'm going to put these on the table.
Okay.
I've already put our knives and forks there, and I'm going to get the big plates. Now, do you want me to serve you a plate so that you can film it?
Yeah, actually, sure. That'd be good. So everything is coming together, folks. We're putting the final touches on, and we're just going to plate it, and then dinner will be served.
Okay, let me just wipe this up here.
So if you guys remember, we made some rice in this pot, some dal in this pot, and then aloo gobi here. Do you approve, Renisa? Do you approve? Looks good, eh? Clean as you go. Keep things simple, especially for after.
Okay, I'm going to serve up Edison's plate for him. So I'm going to take this off the heat because I don't want to cook anymore.
There's no heat left there, right? Yeah, you turn off all the heat, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just pick out the stuff in here. What did I do with that little bowl?
So before we
Let me just get
serve up the rice, we're just gonna get rid of all the spices first. Oh,
So there's our cardamoms.
cardamoms. We had 3, I believe.
Yep.
1, 2, and 3. So
There is our piece of cinnamon.
cinnamon stick, just a small one.
There's one of the star anise.
One of star anise.
I find the other one.
And so
The other smaller ones, like the coriander seed. Look at how nice that rice
oh,
is.
so good.
I'm not going to bother with them too much, but I will take the big, because biting into a big piece of star anise can be kind of hard on someone.
Hey, you guys know why the rice looks so good? I measured the water.
Here we go.
That looks so good though, oh my gosh. And it was actually made from the veggie broth that I made actually just last night. From the veggie scraps. So if you saw my videos from just the night before, the night before, yeah, I made a second batch yesterday. And I brought like a liter over.
And we used half of it for the rice.
Yes.
Because rice is always good with the stock in it. Gives it extra flavor.
Yeah.
Something different, right?
Yeah.
Tell me when with the rice.
Oh, that's good, that's good, that's good. I can always come back more. Plus there's naan, so there's plenty of carbs. This is the dal, my friends.
See how it's thickened?
It's thickened over time, over the last hour or so. Oh, baby. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm spoiled, people. I'm spoiled.
Okay, let's walk you over to the dining room table.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go over here.
Oh my gosh.
Here you go.
My friends, look at that. Doesn't that look good? Amazing, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Yes, I'm very lucky, Renisa. Very grateful, very grateful. I have amazing friends. Doesn't that look good? Oh my gosh. Oh baby. So my friends, final dish is basmati rice with naan bread, aloo gobi, and a dal. Woo! All right, friends. I think it's time for me to get out of this apron and spend some quality time with my friend Erin after making this meal. So we'll
what
definitely.
What he means is he wants to stuff his face.
We will definitely enjoy ourselves. Thank you so much. Hopefully you learned something. I know I did. I'm very grateful. So
Bye. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Have a great one.
You
Bye.
bet.